What's up, guys?
Let's go.
Welcome to another episode of Young and Married.
Listen.
We are here to help your relationship thrive.
Yeah.
All right. And so today's episode, I think, is great. I say that every episode. But if you've been following us for some time, you know that we did an episode a while back called Red Flags, Don't Marry Him.
Yep.
And of course, all the ladies were in the comments, absolutely loved it. But today we're talking about red flags, don't marry her.
Okay, let's go.
A lot of times, whenever it comes down to giving women advice on how to get married and stay married, women come for me in the comments.
Listen.
But there's a reason I've been married for 17 years.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, they do come for you.
Absolutely. But I'm ready. I have on the full armor of God.
You stay ready. Okay.
But look, because if you stay ready,
you always be ready.
you have to get ready.
Okay.
So
yeah, I messed that one up, but
yeah, that's all right. Well,
that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Now that you said it, I'm like, yeah, that's how the phrase goes.
You're right. But
all right, so let's get it cracking now. I'll let you start.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then I'm going to start with red flag, don't marry her if she can't get along with anyone in your family.
Now that's a good one.
Because I figure if we're going to start, we might as well just start strong.
That's hitting folk already.
Right. If she can't get along with anyone in your family, and she's saying to you that the reason why she can't get along with anyone is because she's saying your mom is crazy, your sister is crazy, your cousins are crazy. We have to look at you, sis, and say, but if you can't get along with anybody in his family, maybe the problem is starting within.
Right.
But that's a red flag.
Yeah.
If she can't get along with anybody.
I think that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because generally speaking, your family, number one, knows you the best.
Right.
But also your family's trying to look out for you.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you'll have a situation where a lady comes in and she can't get along with your family, and there's nothing really wrong with your family. There's something wrong with that lady.
Yeah.
And she's here. She's in your life. To separate you from your family, drive a wedge in between you and your family, and how she deals with, how she interacts with your family is going to be so critical. Yeah. Because that's your fam.
Exactly.
Like, that's your fam for real.
Right. And like you said, all things being equal, your family is going to be there for the long haul.
Yeah.
They're not going to just, that's why people tell singles, people that have been married for a long time, tell singles, and I agree, that you're not just marrying the individual, you're marrying their family.
That is facts for real.
So, guys, if you take a look at her family, and she seems to come from a long line of women who love drama, a long line of women who are never able to be submissive,
right.
A long line of women who tell you out the gate what they're not going to do.
Yeah.
That is a red flag.
That's a red flag, because if she comes from a long line of crazy,
well,
chances are she crazy too.
Chances are.
And because we're in love, because we're like excited and this is the one and all that stuff, it clouds our vision from being able to see exactly what's going on and how this is going to, because marriage is forever, right? That's the way that God set it up. Barring certain circumstances, you have to go into it thinking this is forever. Right. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So if you're out here judging it through the filter of your feelings, then you're not going to be able to make great decisions. But here's my other thing, Jen, is that's why family's so important.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you're in your feelings, they're able to step outside of the arena of feelings and they can look at it in an unbiased way.
Right. Now, here's my question to you. because you always talk about how guys don't like drama, right? You say guys hate drama.
Listen.
But I feel like I've seen, and maybe this is a poor example, but I have seen on reality TV shows in the past where it seems like guys on these dating shows, at least, or maybe even for a stint in their real life,
right,
they choose the girl that's the craziest, and the girl that is actually sane and is going to have you come home to, you know, a warm drawn bath and a warm home cooked meal is the girl that gets sent home.
Right.
So I'm like, we're here saying if she's crazy, that's a red flag. Don't marry her. But then, so is it that guys like drama, they just won't marry drama?
No, because there's something about crazy. Okay, let me bring you into the guys.
Please bring me in, because since I'm not crazy, I don't understand.
There's something about crazy that's exciting.
Okay.
There's something about crazy that says, okay, I think this crazy is gonna.
That's because y'all don't watch the Investigation Discovery Channel.
No, because we don't want that kind of crazy.
There's nothing exciting about crazy. I used to watch that channel religiously, and there's nothing exciting about crazy if you watch Dateline in 2020.
But here's my thing, is that we don't want the kill me in my sleep crazy. We want the, all right, give me the night of my life crazy.
Okay.
We want the crazy that's gonna be spicy. That's gonna be enticing, right? We want that kind of crazy, but we don't want you to pop off, you know, through your mouth, out the side of your neck kind of crazy.
Okay.
We don't want you, you know, not being able to build trust kind of crazy.
Right.
You just out here and everything is a problem, or everyone is a suspect type of crazy. So that's the thing, is that, we don't want drama. We don't want crazy, but we want exciting.
Okay.
And sometimes exciting comes with a little bit of crazy. So we look at it and we say, we want to have fun. We want to do great, fun things, exciting things. So we'll put up with a little bit of crazy. And that's why on these shows, and it depends on the show, it depends on what the person is looking for.
Okay.
Right? If he's just looking for a good time, or if he's looking for something stable, that's going to be different types of women.
Gotcha. Okay. So then that's red flag number one. Don't marry her if you can tell right off the bat that a few of her screws are loose.
Listen.
She can't get along with any of your family, any of your friends, because she's always starting drama. She's acting crazy. Okay.
Yeah. You want me to go then?
Yes.
All right. So, red flags, don't marry her if she's insecure.
Oh, that's a good one.
Listen.
That's a good one.
I'm telling you. Don't marry her if she's insecure.
Because her insecurity will lead to your insomnia. Okay? Your mind is just going to be, because you're just not going to be able to rest.
Listen.
Always walk, because usually a person that's insecure, you have to always walk on eggshells for them.
I'm telling you. But insecurity is so dangerous. It's dangerous in a man or a woman, but just from a male perspective, it's so dangerous because it comes out in everything. Like, you're insecure. Like, we can't go to the store and have a peaceful shopping experience at the grocery store because you're insecure. So we pick up, you know, we pick up some macaroni, pick up some elbows. We're gonna make mac and cheese. But because you're insecure, you start talking about, oh, I can't eat that because, you know, I don't like the way I look these days. Like, it just comes out in every area. And we don't want to deal with that. We just want the elbows and go home and make the mac and cheese.
Unless you're married to low carb guy over here. And then he'll probably be like, oh, you know what? You're right. We don't need all those elbows, because this is low carb guy over here.
That's only 4 weeks, though. It's only been the last 4.
You're still on low carb.
Yeah, but it started about 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Right, but he's still on it, guys.
So I'm not low carb guy. This is just a low carb season.
Okay.
But it's so many things. So it may seem frivolous, not like that important. Oh, well, grocery store. But it's everything. So it compounds. It's cumulative. If you're insecure, it's in every area. So it just takes you over the edge.
Yeah.
And so you're insecure about how you look, or your insecurity translates into you don't trust me, right?
Right. That's the
I'm
big
just
one.
I'm just going to get some gas.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's an interrogation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I need to go get some gas. So it's a red flag if you go out on a date with her, if you're engaged to her, and all of a sudden you realize she's insecure.
Absolutely.
So that would be mine.
Okay. I'm going to go next. I'm going to go a little spiritual here.
All right.
And I'm going to say red flag, don't marry her if she doesn't have a prayer life.
Let's go.
Because when I say prayer life, I don't mean everyone prays at the same rate and amount of time each day as the next person.
Right.
We all have different walks with God. We all have different assignments from God. If you notice, Mark, the Bible doesn't really quantify how long per day someone should spend in prayer.
Right.
And I think the Bible is careful because the Bible doesn't want us to become religious in anything we do. Yeah. Right. So some people would set a timer and be like, see, God, I spent the 3.5 hours you require. Why are certain things not lining up? Bible just says that men are to always pray and not faint.
Right.
Now, here's why I bring that up. There's a scripture in the Bible in Titus that says that women are to be keepers of their homes.
Right.
And a lot of people have relegated that to mean that women are supposed to be stay-at-home moms and not earn income. But that doesn't make sense juxtaposed to the Proverbs 31 woman.
Right.
So what we can gather from Titus is that you guard your home. A woman should guard her home spiritually and practically. Yeah. So she's got to be prayerful. She's got to be practical. Listen, my husband knows that bringing people to my house is like, it's tough.
That's hard. Right. It's difficult.
Right.
It ain't happening usually.
Yeah. And it's not that we have zero guests.
Right.
But I'm very selective.
Yep.
Because I am mindful of who is around our children.
Yep.
And I'm mindful of if you're going to step into my home, do you even mean me well?
Yeah.
Because I don't want you coming in here and I know that in your heart or in your spirit, God has revealed to me that this person is not for y'all. This person actually doesn't want to see your marriage work.
Right.
This person wants to see your children fail.
Yeah.
So I say all of that to say women should be prayerful because a woman that prays is a woman that has a home of peace. Mm-hmm. She's also a woman that can be that much better of a helpmate to her husband because sometimes what the man can't see, the wife is able to see in the spirit and say, ooh, but you know what? Babe, I don't think we should go in that direction. I don't think we should move there. I don't think. So it's not that God doesn't speak to men. Mm-hmm. He absolutely speaks to men.
Right.
But just because the man is the head of the house doesn't mean the woman is absolved from having her own level of responsibility to be able to pray.
Yeah. I feel like a woman, a wife, a great wife, her discernment is on 10.
Right.
Right. She's able to see things that her husband can't see.
Absolutely.
She's able to be that co-pilot.
Right.
That says, hey, I see something coming down the road, or this person doesn't have good intentions for us, or maybe we should think about this more. So she has to be connected.
Yeah.
And have a line, a conduit, a connection to heaven in a really powerful way. And I think that's not only practical, but that is very helpful.
Yeah.
Because if you're a godly man, if you're a man that really prioritizes your connection to God, how can you really connect to God like that if your wife isn't?
Yep, exactly.
And how can two walk together except they agree? So you love to pray, you love to go to church and all that stuff, but she doesn't, right? Or she's a little shaky. And I'm not saying that people can't come up.
Right.
People can't grow. But if she doesn't have those tendencies, you may struggle to get her to be even an assistance to where you are in your spiritual walk. So I think that's a good one. That's a red flag for real.
Yeah, it is.
That's a red flag for real. I know when we started dating and when we were thinking about marriage, from my perspective, I was not, number one, thinking about pastoring. I was not thinking about leading in church. I was leading in youth ministry, but not like real head of a church type of thing. And I knew when I met you, one of the great qualities was that you love God, you were God-fearing, you had a relationship with God, because that was important.
Right.
I didn't know where God would take us,
Right.
but I knew you had to have that, right?
Absolutely.
So that's good.
Yep.
I like that one. Here's another red flag that I was thinking about from a guy's perspective.
Right.
Red flags: don't marry her if every time y'all go out on a date, she ain't got no clothes on. Like, can I just say, red flag, don't marry her if every time y'all go out on dates, she doesn't have clothes on.
I was not expecting that, but expound from a guy's perspective.
Because it may have enticed you, intrigued you, and a part of you was like, okay, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be good on one side of it. But now as you're leaning towards marriage and that has to be your wife, you're more concerned about her not showing everybody that. You want her to show you that. And it's going to bring a whole bunch of drama.
Yeah. It's
going to bring a whole bunch of things that you don't want if now you're trying to tame what can't be tamed. I'm a nature guy.
Right.
I love to watch all these animal clips. On social media, I get videos of lions and stuff in the wild. And I'll watch all these animals, and I'll see men petting lions, wrestling with lions and all that. And I'm like, hey, it's good today until that lion says one day, I want you to be my food. I want you to be, I'm flipping out today. And what I learned about wild animals is that you can't tame what God never called to be tamed. You can't tame something that's wild.
Right.
And you met her and she was wild.
Right. That's good.
Good luck trying to tame that.
Well, it's funny that I'm glad you're saying this so that the ladies can hear it, because I often preach that less is more.
Yeah.
Whether it's in studio or out, I like to dress trendy.
Yeah.
And dress what I believe is age appropriate.
Right.
But I am a less is more kind of girl. I've always been that way.
Right.
And so I'm glad to hear a male tell ladies what men really think. You're also helping the guys out, right? Because you're saying, hey, this may feel great now or seem great now, but you're not going to like it as much if you put a ring on it and the behavior continues.
Absolutely.
But it's also good for a woman to hear a guy say, we actually don't want you to present yourself in that way if we're going to wife you.
Not if you're my wife.
Yeah.
Not if you're my wife. I don't want that, because that's for me.
Exactly.
That's for me. And women are very territorial, but guys are very protective.
Right.
Like, this is my family. These are my kids. This is my house.
Right.
This is my car, my stuff.
Right.
And so we're possessive over our wives, our women.
Right.
Not in a negative way, but in a very positive, healthy way. And so, no, we don't want everything hanging out when we're going out to eat, right?
Right.
We want you to look nice, attractive. We even want you to look sexy, but sexy for us.
Right.
Right? And not in a way that you're actually bringing on intention or attention from outsiders.
Right.
So
that makes sense.
That's a big red flag for me. I got a lot.
Oh Lord, not
I got
a lot.
So another one, but I'll let you go if you have one.
All right. I was just gonna say, don't marry her, or red flag, don't marry her if she's lazy.
Yes.
That's if there's any, I don't know.
Yes.
There's a couple of pet peeves I have when it comes to people's character, and I know that nobody is perfect.
Right.
But I really, really detest laziness in both men and women.
Yeah.
I just think it is so, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just frustrating. And laziness is frustrating. The Bible also says laziness leads to poverty.
Right.
So I'm not saying everybody in the world that is currently experiencing poverty is lazy.
Right.
But the Bible is basically saying if you want to go out here and start being lazy, you will absolutely come to poverty.
Yeah.
So don't marry her if she's lazy because, guys, if she's supposed to be your helpmeet, but every time you talk to her, all she wants to do is lay around. She's going to get to her laundry tomorrow. She's going to clean her house tomorrow. She's going to wash her hair tomorrow. It's never today. Nothing's ever today.
Never.
She's always looking for a way to lazily get through life.
Right.
She's always looking for the next get rich quick scheme because she doesn't really want to grind a business or grind a career.
Yeah.
That is a red flag because if she doesn't have enough motivation to see to it that she does what's necessary to be successful, she's not going to be able to help you be successful.
Nope.
And there's no point in marrying a woman who is lazy.
Right.
Some women think that it is a great thing to be a trophy wife. And I have often said that there's nothing beneficial about a trophy wife because trophies are silent. Trophies just stand still. Trophies are stagnant. They're never going anywhere. So if a man thinks he wants a trophy wife, that is a man that, you know, and we're talking about the ladies today, but that's a man I would have to question because why do you want a silent partner in marriage?
Right, because he basically just wants to admire it, hold it, put it on a shelf, show it off.
Right.
But he doesn't want to do life with it.
Correct.
Because trophy women trophies, I'll say, stay at home in a glass case. Right. Trophies don't really go out with you to business. Trophies don't sit in the boardroom. So it's just a showpiece.
Right.
But I can't really be partnered with a trophy.
Exactly.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one because you're going to have kids, right? And if your wife is lazy, how is she going to cultivate the home?
Exactly.
How are we really going to get through all we need to get through as a family if she's lazy? That was so good. That was so good because to me there is a segment of females out there that are just waiting for this man to come through that has a great job, has everything working, and they feel like they have put in their work in life, and this guy's going to just come and save them.
Right.
And it doesn't work like that. Life is so crazy these days. You have to have a partner. For the most
because
part.
Even a woman who believes I'm thinking of a pastor's wife right now, a well-known pastor who said that his wife really, during the years where they were rearing children, because this pastor's in his 60s now, she really believed her calling was to stay at home. And he was able to afford her that opportunity. But he said that while most people or some people took that to mean, oh, she sits at home while you build the church and you do. He's like, no, she felt called to stay home and rear the children. He's like, but the laundry was always done. She was taking the kids to school. She was taking them to their extracurricular activities. She was cleaning. She was taking care of dental appointments on top of still behind the scenes helping him build the church. So I want to clarify for a woman that if you feel called to be a stay-at-home mom, that is not what constitutes laziness. What constitutes laziness is you say to your husband, I'm called to stay home. But when he leaves in the morning, you're in a set of pajamas. And when he comes home, you're in those same set of pajamas.
Listen.
You've done not 1 ounce of work for the home or for the family.
Listen.
You're on the couch eating bonbons. First of all, where do you buy bonbons? Because
that's like 1980s.
Oh, so it was when I was a kid, so I missed it. Because we're 80s babies, but I don't remember my parents buying bonbons.
It was a very...
Because you would always...
I've never seen them.
Are you trying to find a diplomatic way to say it's very culture specific?
Yeah, I was going to put it out there, but I decided let me just edit it in my head.
Yeah, because
but, you know, in our circles... I've never seen bonbons.
No, because, you know, people always say, don't sit around just eating bonbons. Yeah. And I always used to hear that. But I was like, wait, I really don't think I've ever had a bonbon.
Never.
So
our the segment of our audience
mm-hmm.
that has connected with bonbons and knows what it is, just put it in the comments.
Yeah,
just help us out.
Tell us how they tasted
and where they sell them at.
Where did you buy them? You know, how often did your parents keep them in the house? Because my dad bought Little Debbie's. Okay, he bought the Swiss cake rolls, the Star Crunch. We're going off on a tangent, but this is good. This is the content that you need.
Yeah.
The Swiss cake rolls, the Star Crunch,
right?
The oatmeal cream pies,
honey bun,
right? Bonbons.
Listen, we ain't eating
and
that
I
while
felt
we watch
like
TV.
I grew up in a really stable 2-parent household with 2 incomes, but we did not purchase bonbons. So absolutely, like
but
Mark
bonbons
said,
doesn't even sound like it tastes good.
But they were such a common household thing in the United States that people would say all you do is sit around and eat bonbons.
Yeah, it doesn't even I wouldn't. It just doesn't say, I need to snack on it. Bonbon, it just doesn't hit me.
Okay.
But it was a phrase.
Yeah.
Especially when we were coming up, and I agree. I think, if she's gonna be lazy,
yeah, man,
it's going to be a big problem.
Yes. And I find that especially once it's carried over into adulthood, like you said, it's not that people can't come up.
Right.
But I think it's going to be hard to get a lazy adult to get up and get motivated and get moving. Yeah. Unfortunately, Mark, I know of a couple that we both know where they literally got a divorce over the wife being lazy. The husband literally got to a point where he was like, I'm basically single anyway.
Right.
Because you're not doing anything for our child. You are not doing anything around the house. You don't want to work. You don't want to own a business. He said the laziness, it wasn't that she just didn't want to work.
Right.
He was like, she just didn't even want to work around the house or work for their kid. And they literally end up divorcing over it because he was like, I'm already doing life on my own.
Already. So,
and she was shocked.
Yeah, you're not adding any kind of value.
Yeah.
Like, when you talked about coming home, so a guy leaves the house and you're in pajamas and then he comes home.
You're in the same pajamas.
That's a problem.
My mom always talked to me about that growing up. She was like, I don't care if you're not leaving the house, wash up and at least put on house clothes.
That is a problem. So it's a red flag if y'all been dating for a while or you're engaged and you're starting to get comfortable and you go over to her house or y'all just hanging out to watch a movie or something at the house and she doesn't get ready for you. That you gotta watch stuff like that. That now you're so comfortable that I'm gonna still be in my pajamas or I'm gonna still have my bonnet on.
Yeah, like I don't think you ever saw me in a bonnet until after we got married. To be honest,
bonnet is a blocker.
Thank you. Say it again because these women out here act like bonnets are the same as wearing a baseball cap or the same as wearing.
It's not the same as a wave cap.
Listen, I'm a female and I do not like to see bonnets in public, whether you're going to the airport, the grocery store, post office. I mean, it literally doesn't matter. Take the bonnet off. My mom always said, do not walk out of the house with a bonnet on your head and rollers in your hair. She would say literally never do it. She would go out of the house knowing that all she had to do was go pick up milk and come home.
Right.
And she would take her bonnet off and take the rollers out of her hair just to go get a carton of milk.
So, there's a whole conversation around,
maybe that needs to be a different
wearing bonnets outside of the house.
Right.
But what people don't talk about is bonnets inside the house. Our bonnets inside the house. Because my thing is that you have to wear it to bed, right?
Yeah.
We understand our hair texture, all that stuff. Nobody has a problem with that. But if I leave and you have the bonnet on, I come home, you had the bonnet on. I leave, you had the bonnet on. I come home. Like, we have to feel.
So guys want to feel the bonnet off because, I'm the girl that I'm going to wash up. I'm going to put on house clothes. But depending on my hairstyle, if I'm not going anywhere, I don't know that I'm always taking my bonnet off.
Because, no, you're not. But what I'm saying is that if it's so consistent where it never comes off or you're not conscious of the fact that he wants to see you differently sometimes.
Okay. I gotcha.
What you are failing to see is that guys are visual. So you're going to let your man go out into the world, out into the workplace, and see everything he's going to see and collect in his brain throughout the day. And then day after day, he comes home to pajamas and bonnet.
Yeah, I get that. And
like,
I guess
what you're doing is minimizing how important his eyes are to him.
And I guess this is kind of part of the whole laziness thing, because you feel like at some point it's lazy and just complacent to not fix yourself up. Well, yeah.
Listen, that's a red flag. I got one more.
Yep, let's do one more.
One more. So to me, it's definitely a red flag if she can't manage her money well.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
And she doesn't have money, but yet she spends money.
That's a good one.
A woman that doesn't have money but spends money, or always doesn't have money because she spends money,
right,
is a red flag.
Yeah.
Because no matter how much money you have and you bring in, she'll find a way to spend it.
Yeah.
She'll find a way to lose it. She'll find a way to squander it. She'll find a way to mishandle it.
Right.
Like if 10 pairs of shoes is not enough, or 20 pairs of shoes are not enough, like she'll just never have enough. And that's going to be an internal problem that's going to always perpetuate and flow through the relationship. And you'll be fighting someone that has a hole in their bucket, and they're always losing.
That's good.
And you can never win. Like you can never grow old together because you can't save.
That's so good, Mark.
That's a red flag.
I'm glad that you said that, because especially I think with the way social media has gone, there's a lot of pressure, especially on women, because a lot of marketing is done to women for hair products, everything from hair products to makeup to storage containers, because guys are like when the other day I bought something, a glass container, and I said to you, this is going to be dope for our Tide Pods.
Right.
And you were like, if you want it, sure, but why can't it just stay in the Tide Pod container? I'm like, because this is going to conserve space, but it's also dope.
I don't think women realize that pods come in a container.
Yeah. I mean, but the container's bulky, and, and also Tide, if you want to run me my coins for mentioning you in this podcast, you can. Yeah. So anyway, marketing is done so much to women that I think without even realizing it, a lot of women feel pressured to buy this, buy that, and not realizing that if you're not careful, you will not be within your means. Everybody has a budget. Because remember, sometimes people would say to you, well, Mark, Oprah doesn't have a budget. You were like, she has a budget. It's just way longer than the budget of those of us that are currently on or watching this podcast.
Right.
But nobody has endless money. No. It may take her a while to get through hers. Yep. But it's not endless. And so I like the fact that you said for a guy, it's a little scary if you don't have money, but it's not because you ran into some sort of life emergency, but you never have money because you're just frivolously spending.
And you're not safe. Yeah. Like you're not safe because money comes in and it's always going out.
Yeah.
So I feel unstable with you. I feel like you can never hold it, and so that makes me feel unsafe. I'm like, man, what is she gonna do next?
Right.
What am I like? Every day I come home, there's an Amazon box. Not me, but in this situation, every time the guy comes home, there's an Amazon box at the door, and it's like, this is not good.
And it's a thing that I literally see women joke about online.
Yeah.
Hiding the boxes when their husbands come home, or there was one meme that said, hey, sis, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you don't need anything from Amazon today.
Not today.
I feel like Amazon is the modern day QVC that was around when we were kids. The difference with QVC, though, is it still took more effort. There was no cell phones. We're dating ourselves. There's no cell phones back then with a QVC app.
Right.
And so you had to make the effort to like call in and then give them a check number.
Yep.
Or, because there was a time when in our childhood, there wasn't even really debit cards.
No. Why are you doing this?
It was checking cash.
You're like going too far back. This is young and married. And you go all the way back.
Right,
But we
okay.
had to pay shipping and handling.
Yeah, I mean-
You had to call and speak to someone.
Yeah.
And it would take 6 days
Right.
to get to you.
And so I felt like even though some people were addicted to QVC,
Yeah.
I just think the Amazon addiction is stronger because you have the app
Absolutely.
on your phone. Then if you're a Prime member, you're never paying for shipping.
Yeah.
So that doesn't stop you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that shipping and handling fee would stop you from ordering
Right.
things. But if you have Amazon Prime, then you're not even paying for shipping and handling.
Yeah.
And also some people, Mark, don't realize how much money adds up. So it's
Right.
$10 here,
Well-
$15 there.
When you start talking about money adding up,
Yeah.
DoorDash, all right, red
Oh,
flag.
sorry,
if she
but I
does DoorDash more than like, we don't even do DoorDash, so I don't
Yeah.
even know what a good frequency is.
Right.
But for me, it's a red flag if you do DoorDash.
I know because
And I know
people
folks
say
do
that those
DoorDash.
delivery fees are a beast.
When I looked at it one time, I said, that is at least
Yeah.
40-50% of my bill.
I know.
And no, I'm going to go get this.
Right.
So it's a problem. And I think those things, if you just have some non-negotiables, it'll help you choose.
Yeah, because this
a
is
really
in no
good
way an
spouse.
exhaustive list.
Yeah.
But it's certainly some key things
Yeah.
that we think at their foundation
Yeah.
and at their core, laziness, being a spendthrift, having a poor attitude, not having a prayer life or relationship. These are things that, regardless of your personality as a guy, you're going to be in for a tumultuous marriage if your wife or future
Absolutely.
wife reflects any or all of these
Absolutely.
characteristics.
Absolutely. So I think this has been a great one.
It's a really good one. Yeah.
This has been fun, and we're hoping that this one helps someone in the relationship. It even helps someone that's already married.
Yeah.
That says, hey, we got into this, but we can do some work now.
Exactly.
And make this better.
These are things that can
Yeah.
change if you're
Yeah.
willing to put in the work.
Absolutely. So if you don't have our book,
We're
The
going to
Marriage
link it
Cheat
below.
Codes, yeah, it's in the description. Go ahead and grab it right now. It's everyday tools to help you win in your marriage, to be successful,
Yep.
and make it through what God has given you. And we think marriage is one of the best things
Absolutely.
that God gave us to win in life. So we're praying that you subscribe, listen, hit that bell, hit that notification, and connect to us because we're doing some great stuff here at Young and Married. So listen, this has been another episode of Young and Married. We want you to have a good one. Until next time, take care.